This video is going to be on the addition rule for exponents. Before we can talk about the addition rule for exponents, let's first talk about what a term is and its pieces. If you look at this here, we would read this as 6 to the third power. The power, the little 3, is the exponent, and the big number, the 6, we're going to call the base. So over here, again, when you see x to the 5th, x would be the base and 5 would be the exponent. The other really important thing to remember when we're working with exponents is when you see a variable by itself with, well, I shouldn't say by itself, but with no exponent on it, you can assume that exponent to be 1. It's a common mistake people make. They forget about that, especially in these exponent rules. So be careful. So now, let's see what the addition rule looks like. First of all, we're going to do 3 to the third times 3 to the 5th. This rule only applies if you are dealing with like bases. So here the two bases are the same. Both of them are 3. And let's work it out and develop it here first, and then we'll actually use it. So 3 to the third power, remember, for an exponent means multiply the number 3 by itself 3 times. So that would be 3 times 3 times 3, and then I also have 3 to the 5th power, so that means multiply 3 5 more times. But instead of doing all that extra work, if I notice, I now just have a string of 3's to multiply. Well, how many 3's do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this would be the same as 3 to the 8th. But notice, what's 3 plus 5? 3 plus 5 is 8. So if I add the exponents, I can come up with the answer. So this would just be equal to 3 to the third plus 5. Or sorry, 3 to the 3 plus 5. And let's try it one more time, and then we'll try to streamline things for us. Here's x times x squared. So remember, this is not just x, it's x to the first. So x to the first means multiply x just by itself, and then times x to the second, 2 more x's. Oops. And so if we notice, we now have 1, 2, 3 x's, or x to the third. We could have gotten that faster though by just using the addition rule. 1 plus 2, which comes from the 2 exponents. Alright, what happens if we start mixing numbers and variables? Well, the best way to deal with this is to reorganize things. It seems that students like to forget about the fact that they've known how to multiply regular numbers for a long time, and all of a sudden start treating the regular numbers like exponents. So it's really important to keep yourself organized. So here, when I multiply these two, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to break the problem down into the numbers and the variable part. And the numbers I'll treat as I always have. 3 times 5 is 15. And now the variable part, we have the same base, both are m, so I can use the addition rule. So this is going to be m to the 2 plus 4, which equals 15m to the 6th. Let's keep going. Here, notice we have 2 different variables. And remember, the big rule was with the addition rule that you had to have like bases. So let's reorganize so that the like bases are near each other. So I'll write x to the third times x to the fourth, and then y, and if it helps you out, don't forget to put in that 1 times y to the third. And now let's use the addition rule just for the like bases. So x to the 3 plus 4 times y to the 1 plus 3, and that's going to end with x to the 7th, y to the 4th. Alright, so make sure we don't combine the exponents on bases that are not alike. Let's get to a distributive property. Distributive property, it's the same exact thing, except now we're going to work with exponents. So I'm going to take this And so this is going to equal, now I'll write it out and then we'll worry about the exponents, 4x squared times 3x minus 4x squared times 5y. Alright, so let's do the work. 4 times 3 times x squared times x minus 4 times 5 times x squared times y. So in this first term, the 4 times 3 becomes 12, and then I have like bases, so I can use the exponent rule, remember, or sorry, the addition rule. Remember, that's 1. So x to the second times x to the first becomes x to the third, or 2 plus 1. In the second term, I can do the 4 times 5, that's 20. But now notice, the bases are not the same, therefore I cannot combine exponents. And then this would be my final answer. I can't subtract the two because I do not have like terms. X cubed and x squared y are not the same. That's it. Have fun with your exponent rules.